Welcome back. When you think of wine country, top places that come to mind probably include California, Italy, Minnesota, maybe like 19,000th on the list.
Bump it up. Minnesota is really becoming known for its wine and wineries and wine industry. Garden Guy Dale Kay joins us just outside of White Bear Lake. He's in Delwood with a look at some of the local wines that are people are talking about. What a tough assignment, Dale.
Yeah, very tough assignment. And Cody, you weren't that far wrong actually with about being 19,000th on the list. That was about my guess as well. And a little known fact, back in 1993, there was pretty much only 2 wineries here in Minnesota, and now there's more than I think 18 or so. The industry has come, and we can call it an industry now, has come quite a long way to the point where we're actually winning awards for our wines here in Minnesota. And we are at 7 Vines here this morning, as you mentioned, in Delwood. Not just one, but 3 different bottles won awards. So let's talk to the winemaker that made it all happen, Matt Scott, head winemaker here at 7 Vines. So how do we go from like nothing to something so quick?
Well, it's really amazing. The University of Minnesota helped develop a lot of these grapes since the 80s, really, the late 70s and 80s. We're standing right in front of Itasca, which is a beautiful white varietal, but everything we grow at this site is U of M grapes. The soil here is actually great too. We're in Washington County in that kind of glacial outwash. There's a lot of sand and gravel in our loamy kind of soils, well drained. These don't like wet feet, we always say, so we're looking for well drained soils. Another little tidbit, we're at the same latitude. 45 goes right through University of Minnesota campus, right through here. It goes through Piedmont in Italy. It goes through the Rhone Valley, Bordeaux. If you look in New York and on the West Coast, these are all great growing regions. We just don't have that ocean. So in the winter, we get a little bit colder, so we have to choose these varietals that are cold climate rather than something you might see in Europe.
And there's actually this little sign here. If you look here, here's Minnesota right on this blue line, and you come all the way across the ocean. There it is. We're at the same latitude that some of those famous regions are that we were just talking about. So what kind of grapes grow well in these soils? That's something that I didn't really realize was Washington County has these great soils, but what varieties grow well?
Yeah, so we do really well with this Itasca varietal. Itasca, for us, this year alone, we've won 4 double golds at very serious competitions, including San Francisco. La Crescent is right up the hill, that block on top of the hill. This is a Riesling style grape. It's amazing. Today is National Riesling Day, so it's great to mention La Crescent.
Timing is everything.
Right. Yeah, the big difference between La Crescent and Riesling, Riesling's kind of got that grapefruit core aromatic, and La Crescent's more tangerine and apricot, but very crisp citric. We have our Marquette grape. This is a red that's kind of the grandson of Pinot Noir, so it's going to be Pinot-esque, and we have a bottle open there, so we'll get the little treat of trying that in a second.
and explain, and I can't wait for that actually. By the way, explain about harvest as well. When do we harvest grapes, and what's that whole process of harvesting, and how long from harvest to bottle?
Yeah, so we're going to start harvesting at this site. Usually, the last few years it's been Labor Day weekend. And so we're out here picking usually our sparkling wine and Itasca are our first 2 that we pick. And then harvest goes through the end of September. So it's not unlike what you might see in Northern California. So
perfect. So it's amazing that we have all this wonderful stuff going on for your industry. Here are our winners, right? Explain which ones won. And
yeah, so this is 100% estate-grown La Crescent. It's a late harvest, so we let it hang a little bit longer. It just got a 96-point rating, double gold medal. Really an exciting wine, something that's limited production for us. Our Itasca, which we're right in front of, this has achieved 4 double golds. It's been rated as high as 95 points at these competitions.
Oh my, that's high. That's high, right?
It's very high. I mean, this is very impressive. All Minnesota grown. There's nothing but estate-grown Itasca in there.
No foreign juice from anywhere.
Right. This is our Frontenac and Marquette Rosé. This one earned a double gold at a competition in Sonoma County this year, and so everything's right behind us. The Frontenac Noir was grown right there, and our Marquette. I know you like reds. I also like reds, so I thought maybe we could have a little taste here.
Yeah, let's do a taster. And not to underscore really what's going on here, but to beat out hundreds of other different wines from wineries all over the country, because there's New York, there's all California, there's all these fantastic places and climates that grow wine, but for these to score so high on such a national scale is truly amazing, and it's just all in this little hotbed right here in Dellwood, right outside of White Bear Lake. So truly amazing. So if you want a true vineyard experience with award-winning wines, Seven Vines is the place to go. And with that,
cheers.
A little cheers. And Cody, Shane, I don't know what you want brought back, but I'm taking the red.
I am a red
That was
drinker,
back
so
to you.
that Marquette and the Frontenac are big in my house. I think I actually have one of those bottles in my wine storage area. I did want to ask though, Dale, and ask. I'm going to call him Mr. Wino next to you. So the view we have, the grapes, like the vines, they all look dead. They're supposed to look that, right? Like when do they come alive?
Yeah, they're supposed to look. Cody, I thought after all the years we've been hanging out doing these segments together,
they
that
are
you would
alive.
have,
Okay.
you would realize that we would realize that we're still in dormancy. Spring has not quite sprung, but on the ground here, they just did their last pruning. So every bud on this vine is going to produce how many clusters?
2 clusters.
2 clusters for every bud. Cody, Mr. Weather Guru, we're still in dormancy, mate. Spring's just around the corner. But luckily I got this drop
I
to keep
realize
us
that,
going
but
till then.
it's you're like, how do you get grapes from just a little vine like that? It's kind of amazing, and it's just a weird view because you're used to seeing.
It's the soil. It's Washington County. It's Washington County. It's the soil. It's the it's the sun. It's the rain. It's that stuff.
You
I
know.
like it. I like it.
Thanks, Dale.
Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it.